France, a land of love, beauty, and something much darker. Beneath its charming villages and magnificent castles lie whispers of the dead, haunted halls and spirits that never rest. Tonight we take you deep into the shadows, from blood-soaked battlefields and cursed chateaux, to bone-filled tunnels and voices from beyond the grave. These are not legends, these are real places, and the ghosts that haunt them are still watching. Welcome to Top 10 Haunted Places in France. If you thought France was just for wine and romance, think again. Chateau de Brissac, the Green Lady. In the scenic Loire Valley stands the towering Chateau de Brissac, often called the tallest castle in France. But behind its majestic beauty lies a macabre secret. In the late 15th century, Charlotte de Brissac, the illegitimate daughter of King Charles VII, was forced into a political marriage with Jacques de Brissac. Their union was cold and tense, marred by infidelity and resentment. One tragic night in 1477, Jacques allegedly caught Charlotte with a lover and, in a jealous rage, murdered them both. Since then, guests and owners alike have claimed to witness the Green Lady, a ghostly woman in a green gown, with a decaying, hollow face, roaming the halls. Her moans echo through the chambers late at night, especially in the tower rooms. Staff members refuse to go up there alone. Even today, visitors report sudden chills, eerie whispers, and the sensation of being watched in silence. The tragedy of Charlotte is forever trapped in stone, haunting the castle for eternity. 2. Paris Catacombs, the Empire of the Dead. Beneath the City of Light lies a vast, shadowy realm known as the Paris Catacombs. This ossuary stretches over 200 miles and houses the bones of more than 6 million people. Originally created to solve the city's overflowing cemeteries, these tunnels have become a sinister labyrinth of death. The most chilling story is that of Philibert Aspert, a hospital doorman who entered the catacombs in 1793, seeking a secret stash of liquor. Armed with only a candle, he wandered deeper and deeper until the light went out, and so did his life. His body wasn't discovered until 1804, a full 11 years later, and only because of the key still hanging on his belt. Many visitors claim to hear whispers and footsteps echoing through the damp stone corridors. Some even see ghostly figures vanish into the shadows. On the anniversary of his death, November 3rd, the catacombs are said to come alive with spiritual energy. Moans, cries, and the flicker of ghostly lights among the bones. 3. Chateau de Fujer, France's most haunted castle. Perched on a hill overlooking the Vienne River, Chateau de Fujer is not just another medieval castle. It's considered the most haunted residence in France. Since purchasing the abandoned estate in 2009, the owners, Veronique and Francois, have experienced terrifying phenomena. Disembodied voices, unexplained footsteps, levitating objects, and sudden drops in temperature. Guests have fainted, screamed, and left in the middle of the night, unable to cope with the oppressive energy. The spirits believed to haunt the castle include a former governess, a young girl who died of illness, and even a shadowy male presence who lurks in the library. Paranormal investigators from across Europe have flocked to Fujer, confirming high levels of electromagnetic activity and capturing chilling EVP recordings. The owners now offer overnight ghost tours, only for the brave. Staying the night here means confronting what lies beyond the veil. 4th, Mont Saint-Michel, the ghostly pilgrim. This island abbey draws millions each year, but some believe not all visitors leave. One of the most persistent legends speaks of a ghostly monk who appears during storms, wandering the causeway that connects the island to the mainland. Locals call him the Lost Pilgrim. According to records, in the 17th century, a young novice disappeared during a terrible storm while attempting to cross back to the abbey. His body was never recovered. Since then, many report seeing a hooded figure walking alone in the mist, vanishing when approached. 5. Hôtel Dieu in Beaune, Whispers in the Wards. Built in 1443 as a hospice for the poor, the Hôtel Dieu in Beaune is both a stunning piece of Gothic architecture and a site steeped in spiritual energy. Nurses and patients have reported ghostly apparitions over the centuries, especially in the older wards. One tale stands out. A nurse in the 1800s claimed she was repeatedly visited at night by a woman in white who would silently watch her from the doorway, only to vanish without a trace. Visitors today say they hear faint weeping or feel cold hands brushing past them. Though now a museum, some believe the spirits of the sick and suffering still linger, unwilling or unable to move on. 6. Chateau Devos, the Weeping Maid. Nestled in the Auvergne region, Chateau Devos is a quiet, picturesque castle with a harrowing past. In the 17th century, a maid named Lucie worked in the castle under the rule of the tyrannical Baron Devos. Lucie fell in love with a soldier, but when the Baron found out, he locked her in a tower as punishment. Days passed without food or water. Lucie cried for help, but no one came. She eventually died of starvation. Since then, visitors report hearing weeping from the tower at night and seeing a pale young woman in old servant attire drifting silently along the corridors. Paranormal investigators have described sudden emotional shifts and cold spots in the tower room. Some claim Lucie is not angry, just endlessly sad, still waiting for the freedom she was denied in life. 7. Abbaye de Mortemer, the White Lady of Normandy. Once a powerful Cistercian abbey, the ruins of Mortemer in Normandy now house tales of heartbreak and horror. The most famous ghost said to haunt the grounds is the White Lady, believed to be Matilda, niece of William the Conqueror. Forbidden from marrying the man she loved due to her royal status, she was sent to the abbey and forced into a life of isolation. Her sorrow consumed her until she died in despair. Since then, people have claimed to see a spectral woman in white robes wandering the grounds during full moons, her presence heralded by the scent of flowers. Screams and sudden cold breezes are reported in the cloisters. Even monks centuries later feared the place, claiming she appeared to warn of impending death. Mortemer is a place where love, duty, and tragedy converge in a spectral dance through time. 8. Monseigne Castle, Ghosts of the Cathars. Perched high in the Pyrenees, Monseigne Castle was the last stronghold of the Cathars, a religious group persecuted by the Catholic Church. In 1244, after a brutal siege, over 200 Cathars were burned alive at the base of the fortress for heresy. Their screams were said to echo through the mountains. Even now, visitors claim to hear chants and feel overwhelming sorrow near the execution site. Some have seen robed figures silently standing near the ruins or floating lights at night. Paranormal researchers note that electronic devices often fail around Monseigne. The suffering of the Cathars seems woven into the stone, a warning and a memory that refuses to fade. 9. Chateau de Kumar, the Silent Night. Hidden in the forests of Dordogne, Chateau de Kumar is a medieval ruin with a haunting legend. A knight from the Baynak family fell in love with the daughter of a rival noble house. Their affair was forbidden, and the young lovers plotted to elope. Before they could escape, the knight was captured, tortured, and executed in the castle dungeon. Since then, a shadowy armored figure is said to wander the ruins, especially around dusk. Some say you can hear the faint clinking of his armor and feel a cold presence pass by. Historians confirm that Camargue was once a prison, and skeletal remains were found in the dungeon during restoration. Perhaps the knight still waits for the love he lost, unable to find peace. 10. Chateau de Pu Martan, the Lady in the Tower. In the Dordogne region, Chateau de Pu Martan hides one of France's most tragic ghost stories. In the 16th century, Thérèse de Saint-Clar was locked in a tower by her husband after being accused of adultery. She remained imprisoned for 15 years, with only a small slit in the wall for food and air. She died in isolation, never allowed to speak to her family again. Today, visitors report hearing soft weeping and feeling watched in the tower. Some have captured strange mists in photos or felt sudden waves of dread. The lady in the tower still waits, her spirit tethered to the very stones that held her captive.